Hey there, happy Saturday. It's me, Curiosity Trader here, doing another video lesson for y'all out there. Hopefully you had a great past trading week. Just gonna go over some things in the overall markets. This one's gonna be kind of different. This one's gonna be geared kind of towards how to master the markets, why most people lose money. Again, all this is not advice, it's just educational only, so take everything as you will, okay? But first and foremost, for those who've been following me, this past week has been great, roughly up $40,000 on this past week. Pretty much the same exact setup I do over and over again on this channel, the setup in front of you here. And we're going to go over three main things why people lose money in the markets. Again, I do not know who you are, but my goal is to help you not lose money. Again, your goal in the beginning is longevity. That is your goal, is to survive. Number one goal is long-term survival, risk management. And here in front of you, I have a YouTube video on this that I did on the channel this past year called the Iron Triangle. Look it up. But there's really three main things that you have to really not master, but just get a hold of in the markets. To become consistent. And the number one thing I see a lot of people do is you have to outlast your enemy. You have to, long-term survival is the most important goal in trading, okay? I've been doing this for 7 years. Now, I have not been trading those 7 years. I've been learning. I've been trading the past 2 years, but sometimes life happens. And this video is for you out there. Sometimes life is gonna happen, but that's life. And trading is no different, okay? Things are going to happen in trading that you cannot control. And I read a quote, I'm going to paraphrase, but Ed Skoda said it best. Go to the ocean, look at the waves. That's the markets. Do not try to fight the waves, meaning the trend. Don't try to fight the market. Go with it, okay? Go with flow. And most traders blow up in the beginning, meaning they lack risk management. And you have to outlast your enemy. Think of terms in a sense as like going to Vegas or going to a casino. You know, you have to be able to hold your money in a sense. Once you lose all of your chips, go home. They don't want you there. In a sense, the market's the same way. Once you lose all your money, you're done. Go home. You can't play anymore. So in the beginning, I want to emphasize this. Long-term survival is goal. That is pivotal, because you're not going to know what to do in the beginning unless you're gifted, but most are not. I did not know what to do in the beginning. I just learned over the past 7 years what I'm best at. But the first thing to do is risk management. And what do I mean by that? In a nutshell, what that means is that whatever your account value is, do not risk more than 2% of your account on any given trade. Never. Ever, ever, ever. Never go all in on a trade. Never do that. Never average losers. Whenever you're in a loss, cut it. Okay? Do not, number one rule, as Tim Sykes says, cut losses quickly. Okay? Do not hold and hope that the stock will come back. It won't, okay? You have to move on. In a sense, the market does not care, okay? The market doesn't care. And that's hard to understand, but the market doesn't give a shit about you. It's going to go on either way. And your goal is long-term survival. So, for instance, like whenever I enter a stock, you know, I always have, in anything, you always want to have an entry point, an exit point, and a risk point. And anything, you know, entry, risk, exit. Those three things. If you do not know any of those three, then you're gambling. And most importantly, you have to understand the language of setups. We talk about this all the time on the channel, okay, that setups come again over and over again, and that's where a trading system comes into play, okay? But in order to reach that point of finding who you are as a trader, you have to outlast your enemy. Remember, 95% plus do not make it in this business, and you have to understand why. Most people cannot wait. Remember, cash is an option. Remember, sitting on your hands is an option, okay? You do not have to trade all the time. I know that sounds weird, but you do not have to trade all the time, okay? Once you eliminate the noise, once you eliminate the randomness in the markets, you are going to be on another level. What do I mean by that? I mean, once you find your system, you exploit it. You know, as I mentioned, you want to keep a database of stocks. This is my database of stocks. It's pretty much the exact same patterns that I've been showing on the channel this past year. This is what it takes, okay? This is what it takes. It's not easy. Again, 95% fail. So you have to do something that others are not willing to do. And it takes time getting to that point, okay? But you have to understand something, okay? I think in terms of odds, meaning I think in terms of series of trades. That's a very different mindset, and it's hard to get to that mindset because our brains are wired to think differently. You have to think in terms of odds because it's trading. Most people trade to be right, and you're in the wrong already. The market does not give a shit about being right or wrong. It's here to take money away from you. Your job is to survive to the point to where you find your edge and exploit that edge and take money away from the markets. And the number one rule is anything can happen. You know, as it says here, you know, you have to understand that the market is always right. Anything can happen, okay? Whenever you feel like you know more than the market, that's whenever most in a sense you're going to lose a lot of money. That's where most of my losses come from, is whenever I realize, okay, I don't know a lot. The market knows more than me. So, and that's point two. You know, you don't need to know what is going to happen next in order to make money. You don't need to. Like I mentioned, that makes sense whenever you have a setup. If you don't have a setup, then it's not going to make sense. But whenever you have a setup, it's not random. You're just playing the odds. As I mentioned, I have a specific area of niche which I trade, and whenever I see that setup, I take it. Most of the times, it doesn't work. And that's another point. Get used to losing, okay? The best traders in the world often lose a lot. Do not try to have a high expectancy in trading. Don't do that. It doesn't matter. If you have a higher win rate, then your edge is shit. You're just scalping for money, okay? Number three, there's a random distribution between wins and losses for any given set of variables that define an edge. Meaning, whenever I lose money, I know it's fine because I know I'm going to make it back on my next winning trade, okay? This past month, my biggest win was Beyond Meat, okay? Beyond Meat was, I made $45,000 on this ticker right here. And $45,000. And I've been losing, you know. Here's one thing about the markets. Whenever you hit peak equity, you're going to go in a drawdown. And see here, my account value here, I was in a drawdown for right. You can't really see it now because I've been on a great run, as you can see here. But in this moment right here, I was on a drawdown for about 1 month, slowly losing a couple $100, $1,000. But the setups weren't there, and that's fine because I know whenever I catch a winner, it's going to outweigh my net losses. And that's what you see pretty much right here. My account's roughly at $150,000 from $25,000, which I started in September. But that's what this means right here, is it takes a lot to get into that mindset, but every loss puts you into much closer to being a net profitable trader. Because think in terms of odds. If you flip a coin out of 21 times, it's very rare you're going to lose every 21 trades. It's very rare. That's just how I think, okay? And that's how I'm trying to show you how to think. It takes a while to get to that point, but as I mentioned before, you don't look for a trade. Whenever you have a setup, whenever you have an edge in a sense, you come to the markets and you try to exploit it. But if you don't see a pattern, or if you don't see your setup in a sense, don't trade. Remember, cash is an option, okay? Cash is an option. And that's another thing. Most people cannot sit on their hands. That's why most lose. Most people lose money because they cannot sit on their hands. They cannot wait for a setup. They need action. Don't be like that, okay? It's hard to understand this, but I'm trying to show you. This entire slide here, I did a while back, but this is what I live by, okay? Be patient, wait for your own opportunity. You don't have to trade every day, okay? It takes time to become great, but you'll get there. Trade your own ideas and style, meaning do not try to copy other traders. Again, your goal as a trader is to build upon your own method, okay? I've learned from numerous traders in this business. I don't copy them, I build upon it in my own methodology, and that's your goal. Never trade impulsively, especially on others. It's pretty much the exact same thing. Filter out the noise. Don't trade other people's strategy. Don't do that, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's up to you, okay? At the end of the day, all that matters is you. It's you against you. You in the mirror. All that matters. Do not risk more on one event or company, meaning trade the ticker. Don't marry the stock. Your goal as a stock trader is to take advantage of the momentum. Don't marry the stock. Again, most of these companies will go bankrupt in the end. They will. Your goal is to take advantage of the market inefficiency and take advantage of the market price action. Number 5, stay focused, especially when the markets are moving. Remember, 3 out of 4 stocks follow the overall market. Now again, the best time to trade is whenever the markets are on an uptrend, whenever the moving averages are rising above the market. Again, that's not saying you cannot trade when they're on a decline. No, the market's always in constant motion. I've just witnessed this over the past 70 years. It's whenever the market is above the moving averages, you have better setups. So always recognize that. Remember, 3 out of 4 stocks follow the overall market. Anticipate, don't react. Again, price action is your friend. Do not try to react a breakout. Do not try to predict things, okay? Let price action prove itself to you, okay? Then go for it. Listen to the markets, not outside opinions. That pretty much goes over the first 2 and 3. The market, at the end of the day, all that matters is price, okay? That's all that matters. At the end of the day, all that matters is price action. That is it. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter people saying on Twitter or StockTwit. It doesn't fucking matter. All that matters is the markets, okay? At the end of the day, all that matters is price action. That is it. So I've learned very well to eliminate the noise. Okay, once you find your system, once I already have, but once you find it, you realize that's it, you're done. All you need to do is eliminate the noise. I don't give a shit about, I do in a sense, but there's tons of ways, there's millions of ways to make money in the markets. And whenever you find your system, there's no need to listen to no one else. I'm not saying not to learn from other people. I still try to learn other things, but once you find your edge, exploit it and just eliminate the outside noise. Because in a sense, whenever you try to focus on other people's ideas, trading ideas and opinions, that's going to cloud your judgment in your own trading methodology. Therefore, it's going to hinder your performance in the long run. So get rid of that, okay? Most people do not know shit. I'm gonna save you some time. Most people do not know shit. People on Twitter or wherever you listen to the news, get away from the news. It's disgusting. It's CNBC is shit. Get away from it. Most people do not know nothing. Okay? Listen only to your feelings, to your gut feelings. That's all that matters in the end. Okay? Think trades through, including profit and loss, exit points before you put them on. I talked about this already. Before you go into every stock, remember, focus on entry, exit, and risk. Okay? I always say this to my friend. Whenever I go into a building, always know the exit door. Okay? Your goal is longevity. Okay? Think in terms of that. Okay? Your goal is to outlast your enemy, in a sense, yourself. So, within every trade you put on, always know your potential loss, not more than 2% of your account. Okay, 2% is a lot of risk. Okay, always know your exit. Okay, and if you're unsure about a position, just get out. When in doubt, get the hell out. And that's another key point I've learned over the past 7 years, that the biggest losses I've had is whenever I try to rationalize my trading position, meaning I try to be in it longer than what I try to be, and that's whenever the big loss comes. So whenever you have a gut feeling, your gut's often never wrong, but whenever you have that feeling, as in like, I should get out, you should get out, because remember, you can always get back in. Okay? And that's where a trading system comes into play. Again, you have a set parameters of risk, and most don't have that. Therefore, they lose money. But your goal is to have that, and that won't be an issue for you, because whenever you get stopped out of a stock within your trading system, just cut it. Because I know, for instance, if I get stopped out, that's fine, because if the setup comes back again, I can just get back in, and that's your goal. Do not try to rationalize your trading position if you're wrong. Just get out. The market does not give a shit about you. Okay, get away from your ego. And as I mentioned, you can always get back in. It's not going nowhere. If the setup comes back, get back in. Okay, so again, if you're unsure about a position, just get out. Okay, most often than not, your gut feeling is often right. And again, your goal is longevity, so cut those losses quickly. Okay, force yourself to trade against the consensus. Now, this one's kind of tricky. So you have to think in terms of psychology. Again, you never want to fight the trend, in a sense. So I don't really know how that one goes. I want to skip that one. Trade pattern recognition. This is pretty much the nutshell of trading. As I mentioned, this comes a lot by tracking trades, tracking setups, but it's pretty much in a nutshell the exact same shit I've been doing over and over again. And it comes to right here. Human nature never changes. It's as simple as that. And human nature never changes, okay? They're saying algorithms are going to take over the market, all that. That's not going to happen, because what is the driving force of every stock in the market? It's human emotion, okay? You have a buyer and you have a seller, meaning You have someone who believes the stock should be higher than what it's priced, and you have someone who thinks the stock should be lower than what it's priced. And in a sense, the markets is all about that. It's human emotion. It's never going to go away, and it's the exact same patterns. It has been forever. It's just different players. And the more you realize that once you have a database, and I'm going to always emphasize this stuff, because once you have a database, you're pretty much there. And I'm not going to brag here, but this is, for instance, I pretty much called this. This was the day before the breakout on this particular stock. I called it. I said potential open ranges, liquidity trap over to 20. The next day, what do you have? Fucking range break. I made on this ticker about $40,000 because I recognized the pattern. Okay? The patterns never change. Remember, you can make a lot of money in this business purely off momentum, but if you fuel that with a fundamental catalyst, a driving force, you're going to be great. But pure momentum is enough, meaning just patterns. If you trade just the patterns, it's enough to make money if you're good at it. But if you want to make big money, you have to fuel it with a fundamental reason behind it, okay? But understand, it is the exact same patterns that happened 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 100 years ago. It is the exact same stuff over and over and over again. It's not going to change. Never. It never will, okay? Your goal is to realize that. And how do you do that? You focus on the biggest moves, okay? I always say use Finviz. Go to Finviz. It's free. Go to Finviz and look up biggest year scan. Just go year to date plus 50% average volume over 50K, average range over 2. You want a stock that's moving, and look at the overall stock charts. You are going to see patterns, okay? It takes time doing this. It takes time seeing this stuff. But in a sense, you have to do it because you're gonna find setups on your own. It takes that time. I've been doing this shit for 7 years, okay? I'm pretty much there to see a pattern before it happens. It takes a lot of work to get there, but it takes screen time. And I want you to understand, it's not the same shit. If I can do it, you can do it, okay? And that's the next point. Look past tomorrow, develop a 6-month or even 1-year outlook. Again, most traders fail because they don't have the discipline to outlast themselves. Remember, I always say for myself, I never got into this for the monetary value. I did it because I was obsessed. Remember, most people cannot do something for let alone a week or a month or even a year. They're going to give up. So you have to think in terms of you have to have a longer approach to this, because trading for a living, 95% will fail. Okay? That's a fact. And you have to think in terms, just I always say, widen the lens. Okay, widen the lens. I don't know who you are, but if you're just getting into trading, don't think it's going to happen just like that. It may if you're an outlier, but don't just think it's going to happen in a year or two. Okay? It's going to take time, but if you truly want this, then you're going to make it. Okay? It takes time. As I mentioned, I've been doing this for 7 years. Okay? Now, when I say I've been doing this for 7 years, I've not been trading with money for 7 years. I've been trading with money for only this past year. I've been trading money. The past 6 years, I've been learning. Okay? The markets are not going nowhere. Whoever you are, the markets are not going nowhere. Okay? Stop trying to force something that you want quickly. Okay? The best traders in the world often struggled before their profitability. And you think you're going to become a trader in 6 months or in a year? No. develop a long-term outlook. Okay. But that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna go over the last three. It's pretty much the same stuff. But that's pretty much all. Okay. I'm not trying to go on a rant here. I'm just trying to show you what is possible. And again, I'm not sitting here saying I'm consistent. I am consistent. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm a millionaire. No. I'm doing this to catalog my journey, and I want to show to you out there that if I can do it, you can do it. And it's gonna take time to get to that point, but once you get to that point of finding out who you are as a trader, then that's really all that matters. Once you find your setup, once you find your system, just exploit that edge over and over again, and you're pretty much there. Alrighty. But this is a kind of different video lesson for y'all out there. Hopefully y'all took something away from this. But pretty much the exact same three things I always show you. Risk management, trading system, sound psychology. Remember, longevity is key. Alrighty. But that's pretty much it. Hope y'all have a great trading week ahead, and I'll see y'all next time.